It's been a pretty busy offseason for the Dodgers so far, but I don't think they're done making moves. Their starting rotation looks pretty good, their offense looks pretty good, but I still think they could use a couple of pieces for their bullpen. This past weekend, Ken Rosenthal dropped a pretty interesting tidbit in his column surrounding a couple of former Dodgers players. He linked not one, not two, but three former Dodgers to the team for 2024. But before we get to all that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're a Dodgers fan, this is definitely the place for you. I'm going to be posting Dodgers videos all season long, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Alright, let's take a look at what Ken Rosenthal had to say this weekend. He wrote that the Angels continue to show interest in free agent Kik Hernandez, but fear he prefers a return to the Dodgers, according to a source briefed on the team's discussions. Hernandez also is drawing interest from other clubs, and the Dodgers seem more focused on adding a high-leverage reliever, perhaps Ryan Brazier as a free agent, or the Red Sox's Kenley Jansen in a trade. Yeah, so there is a lot to take away from this little blurb in this article, and we're going to start with Kik Hernandez. Kik came back over to the Dodgers at the trade deadline in a deal with the Red Sox last summer. He appeared in 54 games with LA, and for the most part was just okay. He hit .262 while posting a .308 on-base percentage, .423 slugging percentage, and a 96 WRC+. So he was just below a league average hitter during his second stint with LA. Although he was just okay during the regular season, Kik was one of only a couple of Dodgers players that actually showed up in October. He hit .375 and drove in 2 runs, which accounted for about 50% of their entire offense against the D-backs in the NLDS. Personally, I love Kik and I would love to have him back in 2024, but as of right now, I just don't see there being any room for him. I mean, if you look at the Dodgers' current roster right now, they have 13 position players that seem to be locks for the opening day roster. I guess if there are 2 players you might take off, they'd be Manuel Margot and Miguel Rojas. The Dodgers acquired Margot in the Tyler Glasnow trade. Overall, I'm not really too excited for the thought of Margot getting significant playing time for the Dodgers this year, but he does provide outfield depth. With Mookie Betts becoming the everyday second baseman, you have James Outman, Teoscar Hernandez, and Jason Hayward as the everyday outfielders. Plus, you have Chris Taylor as the 4th option, and he can play all over the field. So without that 4th outfielder locked in, I think that's why the Dodgers stick with Margot. Kik could easily become your 4th or 5th outfielder along with Chris Taylor, but the Dodgers did acquire Margot for a reason. I mean, they easily could have completed the Glasnow trade without him. I wrote an article this past month talking about the Margot addition and why it actually could be a sneaky pickup for the Dodgers. So if you'd like to read that article, it's over on my Substack page. The other move that seems maybe more likely, but not by much, would be the Dodgers doing something with Miguel Rojas. Now, defensively, Miguel Rojas is one of the best shortstops in all of baseball, but at the plate, that's an entirely different discussion. His bat was one of the worst in baseball this past year, as he posted a not-so-nice 69 WRC+. You're getting absolutely nothing at the plate, and barring another injury to Gavin Lux, you're probably not going to be getting a whole lot from him in 2024. Again, I get it, Miguel Rojas is great defensively and one of the better shortstops in all of baseball, but I think I would rather give that spot to Kik Hernandez, who is a massive upgrade at the plate and can play all over the field. Whereas with Miguel Rojas, you can really only put him at shortstop. Overall, I think it's worth it for the upgrade offensively and the defensive versatility that Kik would bring. But all this is probably for naught. Miguel Rojas is clearly a guy the Dodgers like, as they signed him to an extension before he even played a game for them last year. I think they like having that option behind Lux as a guy you could sub in late in games for defensive purposes. And Miguel Rojas was actually quietly a really good hitter in the second half of 2023. Over his final 47 games, Miguel Rojas hit .271, posted a .749 OPS, and had a .104 WRC+. If the Dodgers could get those numbers from Miguel Rojas in 2024, they'll gladly take it. Okay, so to summarize all of that, I would love for Kik to come back and be with the Dodgers, but I don't think they're going to bring him back. Again, barring something drastic happening, I think Kik Hernandez signs somewhere else. The next bit of news that was mentioned was Ryan Brazier, who's been linked to the Dodgers a lot in the last couple of weeks. A lot of the top relievers have signed in recent days, so you can make the case that Ryan Brazier is currently the best reliever that's available on the market. After being DFA'd by the Red Sox last season, the Dodgers scooped him up on a minor league deal. He made his LA debut at the end of June and became one of the best relievers in all of baseball. In 39 games with the Dodgers, Brazier posted a remarkable 0.70 ERA. He struck out nearly 27% of the batters he faced while walking only 7%. Opponents hit only 136 off him, which gave Brazier a whip of 0.72, nearly matching his ERA. His FIP was also very good as well, coming in at 2.48. After they got him for essentially nothing last year, the Dodgers are probably going to have to pay up for his services. It could be a multi-year deal, but it could be something along the lines of $6 to $10 million. And I'm not quite certain if the Dodgers want to shell out that much money for a guy like Brazier. He was DFA'd by the Red Sox for a reason, so you don't necessarily know which Brazier you're going to be getting. He could be the one you saw in Boston, or he could be the one you saw in LA, where he was one of the better relievers in all of baseball. So maybe that's a gamble the Dodgers are willing to take. At this point in the offseason, the luxury tax clearly doesn't matter, so you might as well spend. But what if the Dodgers don't turn to Brazier? What if they opt to go in a different direction? Maybe a trade that could bring back the greatest reliever in Dodgers history. Yep, you saw it. Ken Rosenthal mentioned Kenley Jansen as a possibility. And this isn't the first time this offseason we've seen Kenley Jansen linked to the Dodgers. The Red Sox clearly aren't competing next season, and they've made it clear they'd like to clear some salary. And that's where the Dodgers come in. Let's say they don't sign Brazier or any other relievers, well, you might as well put that money towards Kenley. He's owed $16 million next season from Boston, and there's no way the Dodgers pay that. If they wanted to, he never would have left. If Kenley is going to be traded to the Dodgers, I'm guessing the Red Sox are probably going to pay at least half. The Dodgers likely wouldn't have to part with any of their top prospects, as they'd be doing the Red Sox a huge favor by shedding payroll. Now, for some reason, if you go on Dodgers Twitter, a lot of people still hate Kenley Jansen. And if you're one of those people, shame on you. The dude is the best reliever in Dodgers history and is probably going to be a Hall of Famer. I get it, he had a couple of bad postseason performances, but who hasn't? If you look at his career postseason numbers, his ERA is just above 2, so for about 90% of his outings, the dude has been lights out. Sure, he's not the all-star he once was, but he's still a very good reliever that could help the Dodgers. This past season, he posted a 3.63 ERA and a 3.66 FIP, but his expected ERA was 3.25. Also, take a look at his Baseball Savant page. He didn't have enough innings to qualify, but you can see how in the red he was for a lot of these categories. Despite what a lot of people want to think, Kenley Jansen is still a really good reliever and would be a great asset to this Dodgers bullpen. With that being said, if they brought back Kenley Jansen, I don't think he would be their everyday closer like he once was. I think the Dodgers would be better equipped using the strategy they did last year with no true closer. Now, that doesn't mean that Kenley Jansen still won't get save opportunities. He actually would probably still get a lot. I just don't think he'd be a guarantee for the 9th inning like he's been up until this point in his career. Maybe he's pitching in the 7th or maybe the 8th. But still, considering all these things, Kenley Jansen would be the Dodgers' 4th, maybe 5th best reliever. And if you're having a Hall of Fame closer who was an all-star this past season as your 5th best option in the bullpen, I don't care what the price is, I'll take that any day of the week. Well, that wraps it up for the latest news surrounding these 3 former Dodgers. If I were to guess, Ryan Brazier does make the most sense, but if you know me, if you followed me on Twitter in years past, you would know that nothing would bring me more joy than to see Kenley Jansen back in Dodger blue. So, what do you think the next move is going to be that the Dodgers do? Whatever you think it is, let me know in the comment section down below. In addition, if you guys have any questions surrounding the Dodgers, let me know in the comment section down below as well. I'll be posting weekly videos where I answer your questions, so anything in regards to the Dodgers, let me hear it in the comments and I'll be replying to those in a future video. If you haven't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, it probably means you love the Dodgers, so don't miss out on a lot of great Dodgers content all season long. Thank you guys so much for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my next video.